soon as I drove on the interstate, I realized that the center speaker's crackles, and I got paid like $0.4 to put that in on my brand new car the very next week.
That's amazing. So, let me get this straight. Not only did you get a car for free, but you also get paid to fix it when it breaks.
Exactly.
I hope it breaks a lot.
That's the sad part too. Is they're like the least.
We're gonna start going out there. Jim and I are gonna go out there and start like pulling wires to things we don't know what they do.
I don't know what this is. I'm just gonna gnaw on it for a while. I see mice do it all the time.
From Olympic City and the home of Pikes Peak, this is the Automotive ADHD Show with Matt West.
And here we are, rocking it on the Automotive ADHD Show. Got a loaded show for you. My name is Matt West, hanging out with you, talking cars, and we've got a packed studio. I have two special guests joining me on the show, and last week I told you that the official show mechanic, OBD1 Kenobi, bought an EV, and so we're going to bring him on to the show to perhaps atone for his mistake, and if he gives us a good enough reason, we might even forgive him, but I don't know. I think we're still banning him from the show either way. So we're going to do that. I've also got Jim Miller joining me on this show here. And after berating Brian's vehicle choice decisions, we might even have some time to talk about the Honda-Nissan merger and maybe a few other things like a Facebook Marketplace scam. We're going to get to all of that and more. And, of course, give Brian some choice thoughts about EVs. And I said that we're going to have Brian on to defend his opinion. We've already decided, I think the tribunal's decided he's guilty anyway, so I don't know why we're doing it, but we're going to do it anyway. So
I'm guilty of making good decisions.
You're guilty. Oh, right. Okay. So, of course, Brian, Jim, both of you, welcome onto the show.
Yay.
He doesn't look very welcome. He looks like attacked. So
I feel attacked.
Special guest, rode the same short bus together. We're here.
Oh, man. So we're going to get to all of that, but I want to talk a little bit about this first. And this, Jim, you recall this because you were the one who even sent it to me earlier, a week and a half ago. The K-car ban. And you are a K-car owner times many
numbers of them K trucks and vans. Yes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of K vehicles.
Now,
or key vehicles, depends who you're talking to.
Can you pass some of those my way?
Maybe. We'll talk later.
I think we all need K vehicles. You get a K truck. You get a K truck.
You're gonna Oprah it with my stuff. I'm
gonna Oprah Winfrey you with K trucks.
I've always had a dream of just being stuffed into a tiny truck and attempting to drive it across town.
It's super fun
with some goofy radio playing.
And you mean on the wrong side? You're on the wrong side of the truck too.
Well, it's the right side, but yeah,
wrong side. Same thing. Wrong, right. Whatever.
It's so
different.
Small. You can just reach over and open the other door.
Same, different.
So now, if you followed along with the show last week, you would know that this got shot down. It was being proposed by a non-governmental agency, which is and I'm going to pull it up here. It's the AAMVA, the American Associates of Motor Vehicle Administrators. So if you're just tuning in, what they are, they're a non-governmental organization.
I've never even heard of that.
They issue recommendations to DMVs on how to make policy.
So they're an advisor service for the DMV?
But they're privately owned, and it's kind of like MAD. Like Mothers Against Drunk Drivers that start just making rules and showing up and like, you better do this. They just do stuff like that.
Tell me you're worthless without telling me you're worthless.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Now, and so what they did is the AAMVA pushed out a memorandum to DMVs across the state and DMVs across the country. They've done this in multiple states. Colorado, that was the most recent one, and they made a statement in this justifying the notion that K vehicles are not vehicles per the Colorado rules, which I last week read the rules for what defines a vehicle in Colorado, and basically anything intended to drive on public roadways and something that carries people and or goods.
Yeah.
That's a vehicle. And Jim, so since you own, and I'm bringing this up, so of course if you tuned in last week, you know this got shot down, but I'm bringing this up because, Jim, I want some of your commentary as someone who owns K vehicles, plural, many of them. What do you think? Is it a vehicle?
Yes, it's a damn vehicle. It is definitely a damn vehicle. It's fine. It's a vehicle. They're slow. They're actually probably safer just because they're slower. You got plenty of time to react if somebody hits their brakes in front of you or brake checks you. They're fine. They haul weight. They haul you. They're fine. K-trucks and K-vans are fine. The K-cars, they're fine. They're cheap on fuel. It's great for town. It's fine.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Now, Brian, you were saying you also want one of these. Why would you want one? If they're so dangerous and they're not vehicles.
I want a cute little truck to go with my big truck.
You could
put it in the back of it, actually. You could park it in the bed.
You could park it in the bed.
There's a few people that have been doing the vans in the van.
Drop the tailgate, throw it up in there.
Yeah.
Like a Power Wheels for a kid.
What's crazy is like you get to a full size. There I was with my full size truck bed, my full size truck bed, and the K truck's bed's like bigger.
Yeah, actually, so a lot of these K-trucks I've noticed have a bigger bed than my Tacoma.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show how much of a work truck my Tacoma is.
You know what I just remembered? We have a friend, Nick, up in Denver.
We do.
That did a K-truck swap of some kind recently. Didn't he put like a Miata motor in one?
Oh, I don't know.
I was watching the pictures of it. I can't remember what he did, but he did some naughty things to a K-truck.
Yeah. Well, and there have been K-trucks that have been essentially converted into race cars, which I'm a big fan
There's
of.
a lot of Hayabusa swaps.
Yeah.
Isn't that just a go-kart?
Basically. Yeah. Now, what's interesting to me, I mean, is with the K-truck ban, allegedly, the point I made last week was that if this comes to a state near you, you might be listening to this on the radio here in Southern Colorado, several great radio stations to catch it on, but you might be catching it on the podcast too, online, on the internet, wherever fine shows and this one are downloaded. And the thing is, this could come to a state near you. We dodged it here in Colorado, thanks in big part to the car community. All of the different Colorado Cars and Coffee Facebook pages and groups, they got together and started emailing, messaging, calling different officials in the DMV saying, this is ridiculous.
What I didn't like with it is they're trying to say it's a safety thing. It's safe this or what, all this nonsense. It's up to me and you to decide what's safe for us.
That almost ties into like a seatbelt debate too, which I have a hot take on that, which is, while I think you should wear one, I also think the government shouldn't tell you that you have to.
Oh, I agree. What was the acronym again?
The American American Associates of Motor Vehicle Administrators.
So we're going to put them on the naughty list right next to community service.
Yes. Yeah, right next to
all the people writing parking tickets.
Oh, yeah.
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 Code enforcement and parking ticket people,
They're all go on the naughty list.
Yeah.
The naughty list, yeah. I agree with that. And, absolutely. Especially if the problem is, I think what the problem is the fact that you as the people don't really get a say in this. Now, the DMV got pushback on it. They did, and they listened to that pushback, to their credit. Now, why they're listening to the AAMVA in the first place, I don't know, but they did get pushback on it, and they listened to that, which, that's a good thing. But a lot of times they don't.
Don't forget, the DMV is another one of the 3-letter agencies, that just starts making rules and laws and costing us a bunch of money for whatever they decide. So
yes, that is very, very true.
We think for you.
Yeah, for your safety, for your this and that. We're going to charge you or tell you what you can or can't do. No, I'm good.
Little truck bad. Yeah, that's what they're saying.
How dare you save fuel money? Why?
What if, hear me out, put the tinfoil hat on. What if the AAMVA
works for Can-Am?
I was just about to mention side-by-sides. Yeah,
okay.
That's like the side. So
they're out there. Why are you spending only thousands of dollars instead of tens of thousands of dollars on a Can-Am?
I think this might be it. You put that tinfoil hat on, and it starts to make a lot of sense when you think about it, that it could be the side-by-side companies, Polaris, Can-Am, for example.
You know what this makes me think of? The Simpsons episode with Mr. Burns. And he's all with the whalers, and he's like, he takes his wig off. He's like, I'm not really wavy gravy. I'm Montgomery Burns, and he shoots a hole in their ship and then leaves. That's all it made me think about. They're just a bunch of CEOs that are like, hey, for your safety, guys. Hey, man, whoa.
I made the point last week.
Now we can sell more Can-Ams.
Without necessarily reiterating all of last week's show, but I made the point that, motorcycles do exist. And I would go out on a limb and say a motorcycle's probably less safe than a K-truck.
It's got 2 less wheels. There's nothing around you at all.
And
that's such a wild thing to think about. We're okay with people on 2-wheeled vehicles killing themselves every day. But, oh, man, that little truck, yeah, you can't have that.
You can't haul something back there and drive around through town slowly.
You're having
me-
too much fun with that.
You're telling me you want a small, convenient truck?
That's
Yeah.
affordable.
Oh, man.
And it can still haul with some weight.
I think everyone needs a K-Truck. That's exactly what we need to do. So, hey, you are listening to the Automotive ADHD show. I'm Matt West, Jim Miller, and Brian joining me in studio. Coming up after the break, we're probably going to criticize Brian a little bit for his EV purchasing decisions.
Bring it.
Okay, we're going to bring it. That's after the break, right here.
The new Volvo models are on the road, developed and improved for comfort and safety. Both are standard features. So is our dual-circuit triangular brake system. By the way, we make trucks too.
So I can speak for a lot of them knowing that you will pry my 68 Mustang gear shift out of my cold, dead fingers. I yield back.
Man, out of my cold, dead fingers. Representative Doug LaMalfa there, out of California. His opinion on the gas car ban that California just implemented and the EPA just approved last week. And I'm playing that for one because you can't say it better than that. You just drop the mic and walk out of the room. But for two, we have a traitor amongst us right now. Jim, what do you think? I think we have a traitor.
Yeah, Jim.
I don't know if he's a traitor. I just think maybe he might have sold out. I feel like he's the Snoop Dogg of the group, just doing random stuff and nobody's saying anything about it until he shows up and just people that really know him.
So like, he would sometimes drive to my house to help me work on some cars or something, and I would know when he would arrive because I could hear his car. But now he's like a ninja. I can't hear him arrive.
He just Batman shows up.
Just shows
it's a
up.
poof of smoke.
Instead of Snoop Lion, it's OBD1 Lion.
Do you guys want something? You want to sell pistachios and stuff?
Bow wow wow.
So, of course, by the way, you are listening to the Automotive ADHD show. Matt West here, hanging out with you, talking cars. I've got Jim Miller, Just a Guy, joining me, as well as OBD1 Kenobi. We sometimes call him Brian, I think, as well. And
Is that my name?
I think that's you're right there, right there. It's on your jacket.
What is this I'm wearing?
Read it upside down. Brian.
It says ooh D.
Brian, I love you in Family Guy.
Of course, you can.
Everyone does that when they meet me, and it actually is starting to get annoying.
I bet it is. That's like the worst character in Family Guy.
Well, if you want to. Whoa! Hold on.
Banned.
Banned.
No.
Well, no, he's not as banned as you are still. So
Yeah, no.
no.
I was
He's
trying
a
to change the
dog.
subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it
Nice
up.
try. No.
Don't focus on Brian. Focus on Jim not liking Brian.
Oh man. So now, by the way, if people are watching on video, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Spotify does video now. You can see Brian's jacket. It also says Volvo over there on that part.
You can't
What,
know where I
what does
work.
that say? What? I've heard you work on Volvos.
Wait, is that one recording too?
They're all recording.
Oh.
You are live on camera right now. By the way, if anyone's watching, I'm sorry you have to see a trader who sold out and bought an EV.
It's like a
panoramic
panoramic view
fabulous.
of him.
Yeah. So
It's like those scenes from The Matrix.
so
It's a
Brian,
kissing scene from an 80s movie.
we're having a tribunal here, or dare I say, no, a court martial. This is a court martial. That's what this is.
That's a hearing.
Yeah. So
Court and judged by jurors or their peers.
judge, jury, and executioner. That's Jim and I right now. We're both
Nice.
that. So anyway, tell me about this EV that you bought. What is it?
So I bought a Volvo C40,
What kind of golf cart is that?
faster than yours.
Oh, I don't drive golf carts. I like them though.
I was talking about your taco outside.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man, the mighty 1GR-FE. You cannot beat it.
Really?
Good old 4-liter.
I beat it yesterday.
I don't know anything about that. I wasn't racing you.
Oh, and I could have sworn a fella named Matt drove my car and loved it.
I don't know what you're talking about either. That
He
was
was even telling me how he
You
would love
jumped
to
in the
have
dryer with a tablet in the center and just drove it around and liked it?
No,
Oh, he was
no,
so
no.
excited.
No, that was
Really?
I didn't even ask him to drive it. He literally was like, "Can I drive it?"
The best part's the hand
That
gestures.
was-
I didn't even ask him to drive it.
I didn't even.
that was
ask
Matt
him.
East, not Matt West. That
Oh.
was That
I
was
hate
Matt
Matt
East.
East.
That's a
Me
different.
Weast?
Yeah, different one. Different Matt there. Okay, so it's a C40, you said.
Yeah.
So I'm looking that up right here. I'm pulling up some specs on it. C40 Volvo, and
You're pulling them up? I have all the specs.
okay, what are the specs?
He's all, I am the specs.
Actually, can you double check the battery capacity? I want to make sure I'm not wrong on that. I could have sworn it was 87 kilowatt hours.
I don't know what that means.
Well, if you were smarter, you would know that.
None of this spells internal combustion. So
Kilowatt hours. What? How many gallons is that?
yeah.
So, okay, what are some of the other specs of this thing?
It's 402 horsepower, twin motor. It's got the heat pump system.
It's got an 18-inch tablet in the center.
So, okay, there's two options, 82 kilowatt hours or 78. Which one do you have?
I'm pretty sure I want to say it's 78 now.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Has it gone down? You were at 82
really
and then
not
you're like,
that much of a difference.
that is a 4 kilowatt hour difference.
That's very little. I didn't even realize there was two battery pack options. Wow.
So one's the performance model, one is, or well, not performance model, but I guess one is more performance oriented. So yours is probably, never mind. I answered my own question. Single motor extended range, 82 kilowatt hours, twin motor, 78 kilowatt hours. So it has a
makes sense.
smaller battery on the twin motor, but the twin motor's the 402 horsepower one.
All right. So I was dyslexic. It's not 87, it's 78.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what any of that means. It's not gallons, so I don't know. I don't know.
You know, Brian and Family Guy drove a Prius, right?
Well, Priuses are actually gay. So
He said it, not me. He said it, not me. So
Priuses force you to drive like a jerk. They really do.
I don't know. I've never driven a Prius.
I'm going to say it right here on the show. Priuses are awful.
Priuses are awful. You're speaking to the choir though. Like everyone here knows that.
Yeah.
We all know that. I mean, granted, they are Toyota, so they get a point for being Toyota. So they get a point, but they immediately lose a point based on other factors. So it's a net zero actually.
No, because Toyota lost their point because they're no longer number one on Consumer Reports.
Oh, he's going there. He's jabbing back at me because
where the whole vote for the Consumer Report was just in Boulder.
Yeah, right.
Subarus, Outbacks are great. Yeah,
I love my Subaru.
Jim, when you guest hosted my show, you talked about that back when I was a few weeks ago.
I can't say much though, and neither can you, Matt, because we both own Subarus.
What? I can't hear you. I turned my headphones down. I have no idea what you're saying.
My name's Matt West. I don't speak Spanish fluently enough to understand what Brian is saying.
I will say yes.
You own a Hawkeye, a base model Hawkeye with the flappy thing in the middle.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I do.
The only thing that'd make it more basic is if it was an automatic.
That would be funny.
You know what's amazing?
Matt West.
Automatic?
I'm plain Matt, not East or West, just plain Matt with my automatic Subaru.
Could be worse. It could be a CVT.
Oh, my back.
Could be a CVT. Oh no. I blew up the head gasket on it like a week after I bought it, though.
It was already blown up. The guy just lied to you.
I mean,
I like how you take the blame for someone else screwing up the car you bought that lied to you.
It was
this guy lied to me. I totally blew it up.
The guy sat down with us to get, was it beer? And he was like, oh, yeah, we just had the head gaskets done. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I was like,
I believe you.
Sure you did.
Well, it was.
That 2JZ GE over in the corner is not blown up either over there.
That's why the price tag's so good on this.
That 2J, by the way. The listeners aren't familiar with that, but there is this nice 2J sitting in my storage unit.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
Brian, you have ideas.
Yeah, we're going to put in an old Cougar.
We are going to put it in an old Cougar. You see his soul left his body.
But have you
there
seen
for a
my
second.
Cougar?
Does that?
Yeah.
That's not something you typically want to say. Have you seen the? No. Anyway,
she's like 40.
So
I'm older than the Mario Brothers. You are correct.
So anyway, this is all a distraction. We're here to grill you about the EV still. Okay, how do you like
deflecting.
it? How do you like it?
It's amazing. I never thought I would like an EV so much.
Oh man, are you going to have to hand in your title as chief mechanic of the show? I just came up with that title today.
It's just made my life a lot easier.
Really? Okay. What's the ownership experience like? Because I think there's a lot of listeners, especially on the radio, because we're predominantly on conservative talk radio, who are probably getting ready to lynch you. So what's the experience
like? You get a tax credit?
So the problem is there's two biases I have, obviously. One, obviously, I'm a Volvo guy.
Okay.
Second, I'm biased because, oh gosh, what was the second bias?
What was the second bias?
I already lost it.
You're a Volvo guy?
There's bias. He looks at me like I know what he's biased about. Well, yeah, you know.
Telepathic thoughts. I think I'm also biased because I just got it for because it's my first new car. That's what it was.
Okay.
It's my first legitimately brand new spanking vehicle with a warranty.
Okay, and you got, am I allowed to talk about the amazing deal you got on it?
I think I can talk about the deal a little bit.
The
Do
deal
you want me to talk about the deal a little bit?
Tell me, before we all decide to, excommunicate you from reality for buying an EV.
So let me tell you my circumstance right now. I have too many cars that are busted.
Yeah, right.
That
Jim's like, get on my level.
Okay, Jim.
Those are rookie numbers.
How many cars?
It was like 15 at the time.
Okay.
So
I'm still like the newborn here because I have 7 right now.
You gotta bump those numbers up.
Well, mine's definitely gone down. I would have to recount now to figure out how many I'm at, but I'm getting rid of 2 right now.
Okay.
So the problem is, as everyone probably knows now, I just had my firstborn kid. He's
Congratulations.
9 months old now. His name's Holden.
Congratulations, 9 months ago.
Named after the Australian car company.
I tricked the lady into doing that.
Yeah. She's like, no names after cars. You're like, how about Holden? She's like, that's a beautiful name.
She brought it up. I just said, But the problem is, it's money's been tight, taking care of 2 households, now 3, too many cars, none of them safe for a child. And I've been really tossed around the idea of trying to find something else. I loved my XC90. Mm-hmm. The XC90, old one, was great. They had tailgate, the V8, all-wheel drive, the 7-seater. It was just an awesome car. Problem is the 2 I have were garbage. And I tried to fix it, but all it does is add to my intense list of things to do. And so anyways, Volvo at work, they're offering a deal for employees that have been there for 3 years or more, I believe it was. And it's an incentive program to lease a new vehicle from Volvo. And we're talking brand new. There's a couple things. It can't be over 80 grand. We have to keep our CSI score up above a certain level for a period of time, or otherwise it consumer. Oh my gosh, I forgot the acronym, but basically it's our consumer rating.
Okay. As technicians?
It's like our survey rating. Yeah. No, not as technicians. It's for our advisors. It's for the sales department.
The whole department?
Truthfully, I don't understand because I just wrench. All the other guys have to worry about
the meetings. It's like, CSI reports. Yeah. I love those. I like CSI. Oh, that's a good show.
CSI is good.
They're my favorite
Forensic.
LA.
But the incentive program is that basically any new car that we want to lease, Volvo, it has to be new though. Basically, Volvo pays $200 and the dealership pays $200 of the monthly payment. Okay. And originally, I was actually going to get a hybrid. I was going to get an XC60 long-range hybrid. I love those. Those are fantastic cars. Our new ones. If anyone's
Wasn't
listening,
that the one you were talking about on the radio before with us?
That was the EX90.
Oh, okay.
And we actually just got our first 2. Those are full electric.
Gotcha.
Those are our first full electric, like full-size SUV.
Yeah. About 30 seconds here. Finish that thought.
Anyways, that would have been like $200 some after the fact, but they came to me recently and was like C40 after tax credit was going to be $0.
$0. We're going to continue.
So a free vehicle.
We're going to continue on that thought and maybe give you a reason, maybe why you should buy an EV. If it's free, that's a good reason right there. We'll get to that and more. You're listening to the Automotive ADHD show. I'm Matt West here with Jim Miller as well as Brian. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
He's the nut behind the wheel and behind the mic. This is Automotive ADHD with Matt West.
And you can send those car sounds into the show. Hector Camacho's R33 Skyline. And that ties into a story that I did last week where we talked about a Skyline GTR. This one was an R32 that got stolen, and it was recovered, though, through an act of amazement, I would say, because the internet, the car community right here on the internet in Colorado, got together and helped save that car. Tommy, the owner, they were giving him updates, like almost real-time updates. Hey, I saw that car driving down I-25. I saw it past Briargate. I saw it go past Powers. And he was able to hunt the car down and find it through that. And I had him on as a guest last week on the show, and it was an awesome interview. If you missed it, you are missing out. So go listen to it on the podcast. You can find the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, wherever fine shows and mine are downloaded. And I also want to give a big shout out to Lewin Day from the Autopian, who did a amazing story on that, and he did an article about it, and it was really, really fantastic to see what he put together, just chronicling the whole story. So if you want to read the article, if you want to hear the interview, check that out. It's on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Automotive ADHD. Of course, I'm Matt West here on the Automotive ADHD Show. Joining me across the board, Jim Miller, Just a Guy, Brian, OBD1 Kenobi. Gentlemen, welcome back to the show.
I'm not going to lie. I know between the both of us here, you said Hector Camacho, and both of our minds went to two different things. Go ahead. You do your part, and I got mine. Go.
Matt, don't let this distract you from the fact that Hector's going to be running 300.
So he was thinking about
Skyline, Hector, you just set me up.
the whole Fast and Furious
man.
Hector thing, who's always Hector in every movie he is. And then I was thinking of President Camacho from Idiocracy. So, I mean, between both of them, that was probably the best.
That's what you two were laughing at.
No, he's got Hector from Fast and the Furious, and I'm thinking of President Camacho from
I knew I'd screw it up
Idiocracy.
if I didn't put it in front of me.
Don't let this ruin.
That's what, while I was doing the open there, that's what you two were laughing at like schoolgirls over here.
That's all right. Hector Camacho has a really cool name, so
Yeah, absolutely. And
he can run with that.
That's
He's got nice hair, too.
That's a cool skyline.
Nice
and
hair.
he's running 3-spoon Honda. Look, if you don't know what that's a reference to, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I just can't. There's no way. And by the way, when did look Fast and Furious, in my opinion, stopped being a car movie when they went to space in the Fiero.
Fiero in space.
Yeah,
It stopped being a car movie after, like, I don't know, the fifth one.
Once Jason
Or fourth
Statham
one.
was in it, it kind of quit being a car movie. You killed my brother's sister's. What? You're like, all right, man, I get it. Anybody that died that they know, it's going to be the next villain later on.
I think the scene that kills me the most,
John Cena.
it's not the Danger Manifold one.
Oh,
it's
classic.
the one where Vin Diesel is in the car, like, getting ready, and he puts the cigarette lighter in and opens the nostril like he's timing a bomb.
I'm just
really?
thinking yeah.
Like, does nobody realize?
I thought when he jumped across that bridge to
Yeah.
catch the lady, Michelle Rodriguez or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah, or the S2000.
It's like, it's all now with me.
yeah, the Honda
S2
jumping.
Yeah, the S2000 jumping across the bridge too.
Oh, when he jumped across the bridge and I caught her, it's like, what? It's a Vin Diesel, now with wings. And you're like, okay.
It's a
cool,
Red
I
Bull commercial
guess.
right there.
Hey, remember,
He's all got a Red Bull. One hand catching
remember,
her.
family.
Family.
I just want everyone to know, just that you're listening, nitrous is not flammable.
It's got NOS! Oh, man.
That does not mean it's not dangerous, though.
You like to have fun with nitrous, don't you?
Nitrous is fun.
Really fun. We've got a mutual friend with a...
Do you think I put nitrous on my C40?
Yeah, what's your vehicle sound going to sound like?
I'm
You
gonna
said
play.
it.
I'm gonna play his car sounds
It's
on the
just
show
a
next week.
charging. It's just a,
Are we gonna go out to the parking lot and do a poll on it and be like, oh yeah?
No,
that
no,
car
but
sound.
see the
Does
problem.
it feed sound to you from the speakers? Does
No.
it go in your ear?
No.
Vroom.
Here's the problem.
Vroom.
Station management here, our ops manager Brett or my general manager Chris here are gonna have a word with me if we play your car sounds because I'm not allowed to have dead air.
Yep. It's a rule.
I'm not allowed to have dead
Well,
air.
if you just normalize it and just you're just gonna hear the screeching noise, or we could just hear the tires screeching. I mean,
I mean, yeah, I guess that's fine. Though I will say, so if you joined us before the break, or rather, if you're just joining us now, I should say after the break, Brian bought an EV, a Volvo C40, the Recharge model specifically, right? Because that's the EV one, the Recharge, right?
I think they just call that one twin. I think it is called Recharge. They keep rebadging stuff, and
Do you really work at
melts my
Volvo?
brain. It melts my brain. It really does. Every time they do that, it just breaks me. ADHD.
So we were. Hey, you're on the right
It
show
does.
for that, though. Apparently, as I've been told.
They'll change software at work. I'll be like, oh, that's it. I'm done.
Now, so tell me, before the break, we were talking a little bit about the amazing lease deal that you got. You basically got that for free. So if people are just joining us now, give me a quick recap again of that.
So the financial you broke my brain again.
Broke your brain? It was basically $0.
Volvo gave you $200 a month, and then your dealership matched you $200 a month as long as you keep your CSI Miami.
So it's like an employee thing, though, right? This is a deal. So if you're listening right now and you're not an employee at Volvo, you're probably not going to go out and get this deal necessarily.
No, but it's been great. I've already put almost 2,000 miles on it. I am definitely gonna have a problem with the mileage on my lease.
Well, you know what's funny is
how long have you had it?
Like a month.
What?
Yeah.
He's just grabbing people up random outside. Hey, you want to check this out? Just giving people rides.
It's been so great because we use it at work like a lunchmobile. I'd use it to go to the other lot the other day to pick up another dead car. Get the jump pack, precondition the car. It's warm. Let's go.
Wasn't the missus at home? She was telling me that you are. She said something. When I was talking to you on the phone, she's like, "I hate it. He has to charge it so much." And I'm like, "Wait, but isn't the range like 300 miles? What are you doing?"
She said that?
Yeah, when we were on the phone, she said that.
Oh, I think she was making a joke. She's not on board with the electric thing either.
She's not?
No.
Really?
Nice. She sounds awesome.
I would have thought she would have been.
Which is funny because she's actually starting to drive it more. But she hates that one pedal drive.
Really?
Absolutely hates it.
When I drove it, when Matt East drove it,
you loved it.
I heard the one pedal driving was interesting. Now,
just a larger power wheels.
Well,
it's one pedal.
Well, it's nice because it's like it almost brakes for you, but what it's doing is it's doing the regenerative braking, but it's doing it as soon as you start easing off the throttle, which makes sure that you're always soaking up that energy.
Yeah, because
extends the range.
And if you're unfamiliar at home, to get you up to speed, when you have an electric motor, typically like an electric motor, like a brushed electric motor, you spin it backwards, it turns into a generator. There's a similar idea going on here, technically different because these are brushless motors. We were talking about that over dinner the other day. But basically, when you're off the gas and it's slowing the car down, it's putting electricity back into the battery pack.
Yeah, and in some cases, if I go from from my mom's house in Lake George, by the time I get to Divide, from Divide all the way down to Paso Carlos Springs, I actually don't use any electricity. I make 2% on the battery.
Really?
Which you can't do with the gas car. You can't put gas back in the car. You can decel. You could shut off the fuel, but you can't get the gas back.
Like, for example, if you're engine braking, right, you have compression braking. The regen feels like that, but more aggressive.
Yeah, it feels like you're driving a stick shift with only one gear all the time.
Yeah, and
the gear goes forever.
Yeah, I could see that. Now, so what happens when you're driving it, though? You can't put gas back in the tank. When you're driving a gas car and you're decelling down a hill, it's just that energy is being lost as heat. Essentially.
Yeah. Now, these electric cars are really big about using every little bit of energy that comes out of the battery. So even when you use the heater, it's going to put some of that energy, if you turn off the heater, back into the battery. If you're using the air conditioning, it's using the heat pump and stuff to try and avoid using the electric heat.
Okay. Fascinating. So we're going to get into more of that, and we're going to make a decision here on the show. Jim and I are going to make a decision. Your fate on this show. We are going to come to the conclusion of this tribunal.
You got to talk about all the benefits.
What?
Too short.
No, you don't get to talk about the benefits. You don't get to do that.
The show's too short for this.
No. You don't get to defend yourself.
You say my range's too short. Your show's too short.
We're going to be back on Automotive ADHD. Don't go anywhere.
Colorado Springs' #1 car show by default. This is Automotive ADHD.
You know what that's not? Jim, you know what that's not?
Oh, I think it's my C40.
That's not an electric vehicle.
That's not an electric vehicle. No, it isn't. That is Ryan Seth Hunter's 1965 Ford Falcon. He's been working on it with his dad. Now, he sent pictures of it way back, I think in February, and he just sent that video now. Back in February, the car was in pieces, the body was all stripped down, and he just sent that video showing some awesome progress on the car. I don't know if the car is finished yet, but it's making cool V8 noises, and that is a win. So, Ryan, thank you for sending those car sounds into the show.
Ryan the Falcon Hunter. That sounds awesome.
That's
That's a pretty
cool.
epic name.
That sounds really neat all the way together.
I love
like it.
I love it. So, Ryan, thank you for sending that in. Of course, if you want to have your car sounds featured on the show, you can do that. Send them to me, facebook.com/automotive ADHD. You also have a chance to win some free stuff when you do it. So you can always check that out. Now, I'm Matt West here with Jim Miller and Brian, OBD1 Kenobi. Brian, you were attempting at the end of the last segment to defend yourself against our accusations of you buying an EV. And we denied you that ability to defend yourself. But I think we'll be gracious. We'll grant you some defense right now. Why did you buy it? What do you like about it?
It's free. I shouldn't say it's free. I still have to pay for registration, and I did opt for all the lease coverage stuff, so it's actually about $50 a month. But let me put it in perspective here. I'm not going to say how, and you can't say how.
Okay.
But I've put almost 2,000 miles in the car, and how much electricity do you think I've purchased?
I'm going to say none.
That's close.
I'm not going to lie. This is a whole room of dogs trying to save bones, so I think you spent none.
$40
Yeah.
$40
to go at 2,000 miles.
40 doll hairs.
Wow. I mean, look, when you put it that way, in terms of the ability, the reason to do that,
I think it's a
your situation is unique to you and doesn't apply to all of them. But if it was in your circumstance and situation, yes, I would take the free electric turd and I would enjoy it because I'd be like, "What are you doing? It's all free. What do I care?"
This is partly why I wanted the hybrid, because the hybrid goes 50 miles on electric, and that would have been plenty, I think, for me. But now it's just a cheat code.
Yeah, it is. So, granted, if you are, not in the same position as...
Oh, and you know what else? Well, you know what? Every service I do...
Oh, no.
You do the service, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Did we talk about...
I think you mentioned this. Tell me again.
Who gets paid to fix my car?
You do, because you work at the Volvo.
I got a warranty problem.
Oh, no.
I'm going to request me as the technician.
I literally drove it off the showroom floor brand new, right?
Yeah.
Out the doors. I had to move the doors. And then as soon as I took it was the day before Thanksgiving, by the way. So yeah, it's literally just been a month. As soon as I drove on the interstate, I realized that the center speakers crackles. And I was like, I got paid like $4.10 to put that in on my brand new car the very next week.
That's amazing. So let me get this straight. Not only did you get a car for free, but you also get paid to fix it when it breaks.
Exactly.
I hope it breaks a lot.
That's the sad part too. Is there's like the least.
We're gonna start going out there. Jim and I are gonna go out there and start like pulling wires to things we don't know what they do.
I don't know what this is. I'm just gonna gnaw on it for a while. I see mice do it all the time.
Oh, this is the great part too. Is like you can't see anything mechanical in that car.
Really?
I will show you pictures.
Just a bunch of plastic covers, or what?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
It's great.
And so
It's
environmentally friendly.
So when are the developers, going to fix this glitch in the game? This is a bug. This is an exploit, man. I mean,
I love Volvo. I'm just so glad I got this opportunity, especially because it helps me in my situation, because financially it's been a burden with all the car problems. Especially, you're already trying to fix everyone else's car, and then you got to, mop your own self up and go home. But yeah, the electric car, there's even the fact I can set timers for the climate control to come on when I'm not in the car. So every morning at 6:45, my car just starts heating itself up. And I go outside, I open the door, it's like, get inside. Seat heater's already on, the heat steering wheel's on.
Yeah,
I'm
but
driving away.
how much range do you lose when you do that?
None.
Really?
No, it's only, so preconditioning for 30 minutes usually only uses maybe 1%.
Really?
Yeah. It's driving for a long period of time with the heater or AC on that'll kill the range. But funny enough, I feel like they did this on purpose. They've made the seat heaters and the steering wheel heater excessively hot, like dangerously hot. Like it's hard to touch it sometimes. And I think they know that whoever's in it's going to get that range anxiety and is going to be trying to drive the whole way home in the freezing cold like I did with the heater off.
So, Jim, you see, both your cars and my cars don't lose range when we turn the heat on. The heat's a byproduct of the combustion process.
But the funny part
Don't
is,
we have more stations to fuel up at, too?
I think we do. Yeah.
What tax credit did you get of our tax money? How much of our tax money? Who
Actually,
got that?
Brian,
did Volvo get that, or did you get that?
I think that's how it became free.
Okay. So what you're saying is this isn't your car, this is our car.
Oh, so it's a.
That's why I give you so many rides in it.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, I gave you a ride the other day to
I don't remember
the
any of
storage
that.
unit.
No idea.
Governor Polis Sausage is over there bragging. He's like, "Thanks, Brian. This is why we surpassed California in EVs when we have just the population of LA."
My problem with that is I like EVs. I've never had a problem with them. My issue is, like I've said before, I think on the podcast, is that we need to be more diverse.
Mm-hmm.
The forcing it and giving everybody else's money away to purchase them has always annoyed me. That's what I think.
I think the rebate is great because I think with a lot of new skeptical technologies, people are skeptical to get into them because they don't understand them.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually they take over, no matter what anyone says. Like I
don't agree with that.
Even with the arguments, I was just watching some videos today about networking back in the 80s when Ethernet became the first thing. There's so many people skeptical over it. Even when they were making it, one of the dudes...
People were skeptical of the electric lamp post when it went from gas to electric in the streets. When it went to radials from the old hard rubber tires.
But the thing with electric cars...
They didn't always have rebates for it. It was just, try this, check it out, take a
but
risk.
your consumer isn't buying a street lamp.
But
I know, but tires was always a good example because the old rubbers were hard and it always, when it was full, it looked full. If it was low, it looked low. Radials were the opposite. So there was a whole problem with that because when the radial's full, it'll look like it's low sometimes on curbs and edges. And
let me put it this way: if I didn't have the rebate, I wouldn't have the car. And you were just talking about on the show about how like people in that higher bracket are getting that rebate and they don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not one of those people, and I finally got to get into something like that. That really helps my situation out because you know what else? The kid sleeps great in that car.
I get you. I'm not mad at you.
No.
I just think
all
that
of this,
we didn't get a say in going, hey, is there going to be a rebate for this with our tax money? There's my whole argument with it.
I never had a problem with the rebate.
With the rebates part. That's always my argument with it because I'm like, we didn't get a say on what's being done with our tax money. They just decided some random type thing.
I think most of your tax money goes to
crap.
Defense.
Well, and Brian, so I still think, the fact is, I think it's our car, and you should let Jim and I share it. And
I was literally going to take you guys in the parking lot.
After the show?
He's going to take us to the parking lot.
This is like the favorite show and tell lately. Get in my EV.
Now, quick question for you, and we'll tie this into a...
stranger man on the side of the street. I see you about to cross the street. Hey, do you want to get in my EV? I'll take you across the street. It's better than the crosswalk. Hop in.
It's preconditioned.
You did, after the restaurant last night, you took Daniel and myself like 6 feet to where I parked my truck. I mean, Matt East's truck.
Oh, and who asked for that?
I don't know.
Matt?
No idea. No idea. Look, Jim, what do you think is the conclusion of this tribunal here? Is he guilty or innocent?
So
I can also
we only have 30 seconds.
30 seconds. All right, look, I like Brian. I just don't really like all the electric stuff personally. That's just what I think. So, no.
Guilty?
Yeah, he's guilty.
Guilty?
Just call it. You're guilty.
I think my verdict as well. Also guilty. Guilty, definitely. Probably 40 years in prison at least.
It's like trying to redeem...
great men are guilty.
It's like trying to redeem Vader after he killed all the little younglings. It's like, you can't come back.
We're going to keep this going on a bonus edition of the show. That's going to be a podcast exclusive. So we're going to keep it rolling. Go check out the podcast, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Thanks for listening to Automotive ADHD. Talk to you next week.